I think we could all do better as professionals to learn the skill of focus.
Right.
What could you teach us? Teach me. How can I become better?
Compartmentalization is absolutely vital in these high-stress environments.
Okay.
You're having issues at home. You're having issues at your church. You're having issues with friends. And those are important. You have to deal with those. But when you're doing these tasks, that's got to be blocked out, because this has to be your complete and total focus. This VR lab and this thing I said earlier about you don't train until you get it right. You train until you feel like you can't get it wrong. One of the reasons we use the VR lab with the spacewalking is we get out there and we come off of structure. You don't want to be off of structure.
No.
I can tell you, I've got 32 hours outside the space station on 5 different spacewalks. There's not a single hour that didn't go by that I didn't think, don't get famous. Don't get famous.
Right.
Because if you come off structure and you become a satellite, you're going to get famous pretty quick.
Right.
So maintaining a grip on your handhold, you don't let go until this one is held, and then you let go. And it's active thoughts constantly. You have to maintain that focus,
yes,
or it could be a very, very bad day. So the VR lab, what we train for, we have a jetpack, and you hit a lever, it springs out, you grab a control, and you can jet your way back to the space station. It's all virtual reality. We even have it on space station. We do this before we do spacewalks. And you don't do that, jet yourself back. You only have so much gaseous nitrogen in this jetpack to try to fly yourself back to the space station if you were to come off structure. And it's got a little counter on it, and it tells you when you run out. If you run out before you get to station, you're a satellite.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place to be.
No.
So you don't just train, oh, I made it back, I'm good, let's go have lunch. No, you do it again.
Right.
And you do it again. And you go off, you leave the station with a greater velocity this time. So you go further away, and then you come back and you try to fly yourself back. And you make it. You do it again until you feel like you can't get it wrong. You'll never be 100%.
Is that how we learn the skill of compartmentalization?
That's something I learned way back even before. Flying airplanes off aircraft carriers, you got to be able to focus.
Right.
And when you're in combat, which I've again in the book, there's some stories about that. You've got to be able to focus, because it's not just you and your jet aircraft. I was a single seat guy, but it's your crew members, your mates that are in their aircraft too, and your mutual support all the time.
Practically speaking, because I love how you gave us a great illustration. Let's say that you've got something in your home life that's on fire. I mean, it's a dumpster, but you got a high pressure, you got to deliver somewhere else. Is there something practical or tactical? How do we do that? How did you learn to just put that away? Have you ever noticed how most things today aren't built to last? That's why I sleep on an avocado green mattress. Their mattresses are assembled in the USA with certified organic materials, and they're built to last for less waste and better sleep night after night. Because the most sustainable product is the one you keep. You can save up to 20% at avocadogreenmattress.com/Ken and get an extra $50 off adult mattresses with the code FRONTROWSEAT. Avocado, dream of better.
I think it came with trial and error. That's just something that, again,
building the muscle.
They preached it from day one in flight school.
Yeah.
When it's time to crawl inside that aircraft, you got to put everything else aside.
Yeah.
And sometimes there were the guys that couldn't do that, they don't make it. They wash out, because that's something that you have to have. And in that business, you have to be able to compartmentalize and put things aside. And how do you do that? It's just keep doing it. And it's just a learned trait over the course of time. You continue to do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it regrettably, it overshadows into when you are at home and you shouldn't be compartmentalizing, and you are. And your wife is talking to you, you don't even hear her.
Right.
So if it gets to that level, obviously your most important thing. But if that's happening, you're getting the handle on this compartmentalization.
That's right. There was a season of my life not too long ago where I had a daily show here, and there were some days where I remember one day in particular, I didn't think I was going to be able to go on the air. I had some stuff going on at home, and it was my brain was on fire. And I remember sitting, there's a little compartmentalization area, like a little, I call it compartmentalization. It's just a closet behind where my desk was and the big screen. Now, on this particular day, I went in there and I just sat in complete darkness. Nobody knew I was in there. It's 30 minutes before the show, and I'm literally going, my brain is on fire. The only thing I can give the audience, and I'm just throwing this out, I haven't shared this publicly much, is I got to a point where I was like, I can't change what's going on there right now. That is a bigger thing.
Right.
And I can't do anything about it right now anyway.
Right.
And if I don't do this, and there are people that are counting on me for this, there are people that are going to call into the show today that are asking for my help because their professional life is on fire.
Right.
And I had to get a control of what can I actually do right now to solve this dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to focus, and it was nothing. Then I had to focus on, well, who's counting on me to do this? And that was the only way. Now, it wasn't like this kind of thing, Butch, but it got me to the point where I could fake it. You know what I mean? And I did it. I showed up and I did it. I was hurting inside, but I was able to perform and do what I was supposed to do. I don't know if that squares
that's
with you.
That's a great story, and it's exactly in line with a little bit what we're saying. But let me articulate maybe specifically. I'm not going to fret over something that I can't change, that I have no control over.
Good. Yeah.
People do that all the time. I've done it. You just fret over something like, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Why am I going to put myself through that? And plus, we have responsibility. You're a father, I assume.
Yep.
I'm a father. I have a responsibility as a husband and a father, as I said earlier. If I'm going to fret, I'm going to be teaching my children that fretting is something that's okay or something that is beneficial. When it's not, it's detrimental. So being able to focus on those things that or realize that space station, while we're there, we're not coming home. It's not desired. It wasn't optimal, but fretting over it's not going to do any good at all. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the task. I'm going to look at the positive. I'm in space. And Zane would have loved to have been in space. You know, it's many millions of people would love to have been right there. And I'm stuck. Would have loved been stuck in space. And here I am with this wonderful opportunity, this amazing view, flying like Superman. I can't change, I can't affect any of these things that have transpired. So I'm not going to fret over it. And I'm also going to help train my daughters to do the same. Because that's of no benefit. It's detrimental to yourself, and it's detrimental to the team.
So good.